What is up, everybody? I'm Mitch Lunsford,
And I'm Dustin Carpenter.
and this is the Fat Man Podcast.
Welcome, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate y'all.
So, today I wanted to start something. I wanted to give a little shout out. We're going to start doing a recognition of our veterans. Both me and Carpenter, we're both veterans. I've served for 16 years. How long have you served?
I served for 10.
So one thing that is very important to us is we want to showcase the hard-working men and women that's dedicated their lives to serving this country. And so to start out, our soldier highlights for the week is we would like to recognize Sergeant David Perret. He's served since 2012, so for 12 years in the 438th Chemical Company, and he's actually one of our own, part of the ML production cast or crew, not cast but crew. He works as my project manager on other projects, and he's just been wonderful. But he's been part of the 438th Chemical Company and the Indiana Army National Guard, and we just wanted to highlight him and showcase him and say thank you for all that you do. And yeah, we're proud of you. So please show some love to Sergeant David Perret for his 12 years of dedicated service.
We appreciate you, High Speed. Way to go.
So today's one thing that I wanted to talk about. So I just had a nice little break again. I left for Mississippi for the National Guard for the leadership course, and then came back for a week, and now, and then I left for another week. Went to Mexico to film a documentary, and which I'm really excited. We can't talk too much in detail about it, but it was a really wonderful experience. But we broke the number one rule.
Don't be a bitch.
Yeah.
That's the number one rule. So the week that you were gone, well, the several weeks that you were gone, the days you weren't in the gym, neither was I.
So
took too much time off.
So whenever I left, I was like, we got to promise each other, because I knew it would be tough for me while I was gone, but I was still a bitch because I had so many opportunities that I could have went to the gym, because where we stayed, I had this beautiful, and I'm telling you, it was a beautiful gym at this place called Celeste, and which was part of the resort town that I was at. And anyways, I had the opportunity to go to the gym every single day and do stuff, but I didn't either. But I did make you promise me.
Let me preface this by saying, you ever been in a moment where in the moment it sounds like a great idea and you're all hyped up and you're high speed and you're like, yeah, I'm gonna fucking do this. You ever had those days?
Yeah.
That was one of those days. That was one of those moments. When you told me, you were like, promise me you're going to go to the gym. And I was like, dude, I'll give you. You were like, give me 2 days. I said, I'll give you 3. And I was so into it. I was ready. I was like, I'm gonna crush this while you're gone.
And I knew that he wasn't going to give me. I just had this feeling that he was just bullshitting me. But
I was bullshitting. In the moment, though, I wasn't bullshitting. I was ready. I was hyped up and ready to do it. And I was like, I'm going to crush this while you're gone. You know, because there's been a few times where you've been gone and I went to the gym without you, but lo and behold, this was not one of them.
yeah, and then the fact that we've taken so much time off, because, I mean, it's been my fault. It's been a large part my fault, but taking that amount of time off, it's really it's played its toll. Today was tough, and the past couple of days have been tough getting back in.
Yeah, it feels good to be back, though, honestly. I mean, we've talked about this in episodes past, motivation and maintaining and shit. But like you said before, it's real easy to just fall to the wayward side, fall to the dark side, if you will. And just stop going to the fucking gym because you have those evenings free. And you're like, this is nice. I come home from work, or in my case, I've been on vacation. I haven't gone anywhere. It's been nice just to sit on my ass at home and not do anything. And those free evenings, I don't want to say they're nice. They are nice, but the gym, I feel like, I don't know. I've missed it. Today. All in all, what I'm trying to get at is it feels good to be back. I'm glad that we're back on track now. And even though I enjoyed the time off, I enjoy being in the gym a lot more than I enjoy having days off and just sitting on my ass doing nothing.
See, I've been on the opposite end where you've been on vacation. I am going on 2.5 months of not having a single day off. This weekend will be my first day off, and I'm going to sleep in. I'm going to enjoy
No,
it.
you're not.
I'm going to try to sleep in. I'm going to try to enjoy it. But I don't usually work when I have my boys, so I'm planning on we're just going to enjoy each other because I'll be honest, I'm not usually gone like this. Whenever I am gone for work or for the military, we're talking, maybe a couple weeks at a time. And, over the years, they've gotten used to that. But I will say this has been the hardest time that I've had since what I really think it is, I think it's the first time that my youngest is old enough to really comprehend that I'm gone. Before it's like he knew that I was gone, but he didn't really have a good grasp of time. And so like this time I'm just ready for this weekend to enjoy it. But I'm ready to have a day off. These days nonstop, it's playing its toll. But that's the part that's made it hard for me to want to go to the gym was that I'm just beat. I'm beat, but that's just another excuse. We talked when we first started, and especially when we really started getting into the gym, that we have to think about going to the gym like we would think about going to work, and it's making it a priority. And
Definitely.
it has definitely not been a major priority for us this past month and a half. But I'm really excited that we're back.
I'm not trying to make excuses by any means, but
Yes, you are.
I mean, no, well, we've I say we as in the gym team, but you have had a very busy few weeks. So I mean, it's not really excuses. It's more reasons why you haven't been in the gym.
Yeah.
I have excuses, laziness most of all, but I feel like now that all that's over and done with, and we're back on track, we're gonna kick ass and we're gonna kill it. Because, like I said earlier today, December 1st is when I start my cut. So, no more beefcake, no more fat boy.
So, since I've been gone, what have you been up to? We've bullshitted and talked a little bit, but what has taken up your time instead of the gym?
Food.
Food?
No. Just a lot of sitting around, watching TV, watching Netflix. Because, like I said, I've taken some time off work and I haven't gone anywhere. It's just been kind of like a staycation. So, I've been getting things done around the house that I haven't had time to do normally. Between going to work, going to the gym, and filming the podcast.
Spending some time with your honey.
Spending a lot of time with the wife. Got a lot of yard work done. Got a lot of hangout time with the wife done. Still more to go on that end, if you know what I mean. But no, it's been a lot of just kind of relaxing and chilling and not being as productive as I should be gym wise.
So, what are you most excited about now that we're getting back into the gym? What do you think is going to be different? Because I definitely feel like we're kind of starting over again, but I don't know. In my past, every time that I've taken a break, every time exclusively, there's never been an exception. Anytime I've taken longer than a 1 or 2 day break, I've never jumped back into the gym. So what do you think is different about this break that we've taken?
So for me, what I feel like, I don't know, it's kind of a tough question because there's so many different ways to come at it. But I feel like for me, it's going to be I've been out for so long and I've let myself, I don't want to say let myself go because I haven't got fatter or anything like that. But I've just kind of let myself go in terms of staying motivated, that now I'm kind of mad at myself and it's like, all right, now I got to push even harder. Now I got to get back into it and push twice as hard and kick my own ass as kind of punishment for what I did. And also I'm anxious to see, like I said earlier, starting to cut December 1st, I'm anxious to see how far I can take this, what I can do with it. And part of the reason I keep repeating myself saying, talking about this cut on the podcast is accountability. I feel like if I'm telling you guys, the viewers, I'm starting my cut December 1st, and then come February or March, and I don't look any different, they're going to be like, what the fuck? So I thought she said he was cutting. So, I'm anxious to see where this takes me. I'm not going to, I'm not on any gear or anything like that, so I'm not going to be like bodybuilder level freaking ripped or anything like that, but I've got the bulk done. I've put on the weight, put on the muscle I wanted to over the last year. So, you guys have seen the pictures, the differences in the previous episodes. So now starts to cut, and I'm just ready to see how lean I can get and maintain muscle, see where it takes me.
So I know that for me in particular, I have noticed that, especially, the food was so good in Mexico. I can't emphasize how good the food was.
I can imagine.
But I feel so heavy right now. Not like I've gotten fatter, but I feel just sluggish. Have you, since we've taken our break, have you experienced anything like that?
Yeah, because I have actually, and some people think this is not a lot, but for me it is. I've gained 5 pounds, so I'm now up to 285. I was wanting to just coast at 280 until I started my cut, and now I've gained, like I said, 5 pounds since I've been sitting around eating pizza and cheeseburgers. Because let's face it, when I'm not in the gym, my diet's not in check. If I don't have the gym to coincide with it, then it's not there. So I've been on vacation all this week and I haven't meal prepped at all. So got in from doing yard work the other day, and the wife had made me pizza and cheese fries, and I ate it like I was a starving child in Africa. Like I just gorged myself. So the difference for me, I feel heavier. I feel sluggish. I feel a little bit weaker too. I mean, I know it's only been a couple weeks, but when we were in the gym today and I was putting up that 225, it felt heavier than normal, and I was like, I don't like this feeling. So that's another indication that I need to punish myself more. I need to get back on track. I feel like I'm starting over, and I don't like that feeling. So now I'm ready to hit the nose of the grindstone and get back where I need to be.
I'm really excited to be back, but I wanted to share this with you because I thought that this showed the progress that we have made since we've been in the gym. So, I went to Huatuco, Mexico. Mm-hmm. So one of the coolest things was whenever we were down there. So one of the coolest things is when we were down there, we went to we were in Huatuco, Mexico. And I went to this place that was called the Cascades, and it had these series of waterfalls, And as it was like a 20 or 30-minute hike up the mountain, and you keep coming to a bigger and bigger waterfall. And as I keep going, I'm like, man, this is beautiful. It looks like it's out of a movie or something. I keep going to the next one. I'm like, wow, that's really insane. And then we make it to the last one, and right as I rounded the corner, I seen the most beautiful waterfall I had ever seen in my life. And all I could say was just, wow. Well, the tour guide that was with us, he had told us that there's a cave that's behind the waterfall that you can go to. And when we got there, he informed us, he was like, hey, the water's moving too fast. This is probably just a little bit too dangerous. And I was a little disappointed at that. And he looked at me and he was like, you know what? I'm willing to do this and go and take you up there if you're willing to do it. And I was like, I'm down. I got my GoPro in my hand and I'm ready to roll. And so we start trudging through this. It's not that it's very deep. It's that the water was just moving so fast, and so you could feel it pushing against you. And so we're walking on these wet stones. I'm barefoot, and you go this way, and then it turns and goes forward, and then you have to climb up these rocks. They have footholds carved out into it. And so as you're going up that, the water's just rushing against you, and you have to really hold on with everything you got, and you make it to the top, and then there's these steps that lead up to the waterfall. And so we climbed up there, and all you can see is us disappear behind the waterfall. And behind the waterfall, you can see the water rushing down, and you can see this jacuzzi that's there, a natural jacuzzi that the backflow makes. And whenever I was back in there, I was just thinking, wow, this is amazing. But I tell you that because it really gave me a perspective, because, a year and a half ago, whenever I was at my biggest, whenever I was at 235 pounds, and I always say that I got winded playing chess, I would never have been able to make that little adventure, and it was something that it was one of the coolest experiences that I've ever had in my life. And so, like, the idea that we've gotten in shape and we've made this much progress, that really motivated me. And that's the one thing that really made me excited about coming back to the gym. But I just thought I'd share that with you, just because I thought it was a really cool experience that had I been at my biggest, I probably would have missed out on, because I don't think I could have done it.
There's a lot of times where I'll just be out doing something, whether it's at work or at home, and I realized that a year ago, when I was completely out of shape, that I wouldn't be able to do the same things that I'm doing, even stupid little things, like walking long distances. And I wasn't like 600 pounds or anything, but I was out of shape. I have lower back problems. Thanks, Army. Appreciate you for that one. But that plays a big role. And when you're out of shape and you're overweight, that makes things even harder, and stupid, simple things like doing yard work. I was out in the yard for 5 hours, was Monday, doing yard work out there for 5 hours. And I got done and I came in the house and I had all kinds of energy left over, and I was feeling good. I was hyped up and ready to roll for the day. And the day was pretty much over, at that point. But I was sitting there and I was in the back of my mind, I was like, man, a year ago, there's no way I'd have this much energy after working out there for 5 hours doing everything that I did. It wasn't like back-breaking work or anything, but just the idea, when you don't take care of yourself, health-wise, you don't really notice those things, because it's a norm to just feel sluggish and to feel, like winded playing chess, and you don't really give it a second thought. But then when you get into it and you start doing better for yourself and start eating right, start exercising, you notice those little subtleties, those little differences, and it makes a huge difference in your life. It really does.
So I think that things like that's what's different this time that we took a break is, I've made progress in the past, but I've never made progress like we've made here, at least not since my early 20s. And so it gives me like a newfound appreciation for what we do. And so for me, that's what's changed, because I never want to go back to where I was, and it had nothing to do, like, emotionally I was happy then, and all that stuff. Like, I was good there. But as far as physically, having the ability to be able to go on these adventures, having the ability to go out and play with my kids, and not be afraid that I'm going to roll an ankle because I'm so out of shape or whatever, that gives me a newfound appreciation. And just knowing that I never want to go back to where we were, I feel so much better. Like, I feel so much better. And I feel like it's also gave me something as a man. Like, you know what I mean? Like, going in there and moving heavy shit.
Yeah.
It just makes you feel like, yeah, this is what I'm supposed to do. And I don't mean that in like a chauvinistic way or anything like that. Just, it makes you feel good, and I'm really proud of what you and I have accomplished here in the past year and a half.
Well, and it's also little things that affect other people, not just ourselves. Like the other day, the wife was talking about taking the weekend off, next weekend or whatever, and going out to Turkey Run and hiking some trails. I love to hike trails. A year ago, I'd do it, because I'm not going to tell her no. But the whole time I'm out there, I'm going to be winded, and feeling sore and tired and wore out and low energy, because I was there at one point. And the other day when she mentioned it, and I was like, the first thing that popped in my head was like, fuck yeah, I'm ready. Let's go run. Because my motivation is at the point where I'd go run the trails if I could, without tripping and falling and breaking my neck, but I'd go run the trails if I could. So taking care of yourself not only is about you, it's about those you love. It's about your family, because it affects everybody else around you, and not just family, but also friends. Hanging out with friends, doing stuff. It plays a huge role in everybody else's life around you, not just your own.
Oh, absolutely. So, how does the ball and chain like it since you've been in the gym?
At the sake of keeping it semi-PG, I mean, I know this is a veteran ran and veteran owned podcast here.
You get it.
Hammered up. No, I'm just playing. No, it's been life changing. I'll say that much. Found my younger inner self, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
I found him again. He's back. So she has no complaints.
That's good. That's good. You're energized, new, younger, older self.
My new, younger, older, used to be younger self. Yeah, well, I guess you could put it that way.
So somebody once told me that men don't grow up, we just get older. But now your outside energy matches your inside energy.
That's right. Men don't grow up ever. We sometimes we grow out, which is why we're in the gym now. But we don't ever grow up. I still laugh at a fart like I was 5 years old every day.
Well, shit. I'm blinking right now. I have.
We've officially run out of things to talk about. Good night. No.
No, in reality, I really am glad to be back. I'm excited to be back to do this podcast too. I'm just really motivated. I'm one thing that I'm excited about this podcast in particular is I'm excited that we have the opportunity to continue building a community. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I feel like it's, I don't know. I feel like we have something special here, and I'm really excited about this, and I'm excited to see where it goes, and I'm excited to see if my biggest goal is I just want to touch people. Let me rephrase that.
Touching is prohibited.
And when they're not looking, I'll touch myself. I'm just joking. No,
No, you're not.
I'm just serious. But no, I'm hoping that we can help make a difference in somebody's life to show them that we're not studs. We're not exactly where we want to be, but we're a lot closer than we used to be. And I know we talk about this every single podcast, but one thing that I'm excited about is every single thing that that you see on the internet. You always see these studs that are chiseled, and they basically tell you, and don't be fat. And at least that's been my experience. Maybe there's other ones out there, but I like that we got to show people that we're still on the journey, and we're just taking things a day at a time. We're going through the same shit that they're going through. We have kids, we have lives, we have significant others, work, all that shit that gets in the way. But just helping find ways to still push forward and try to make a positive difference,
Exactly. One thing that drives me nuts, and that's good.
I love Ghost.
I love it. One thing that drives me nuts is when you get guys that are fitness influencers, I guess you'd call them, or that look at people and say, just get your ass in the freaking gym, work out and eat clean and blah blah blah. That have never struggled, that have never been on the other side where we were. You're the fat man, you're the out of shape man that, doesn't feel good about himself or struggles to lose weight and doesn't know where to start. People that, have always been in shape or just have a naturally high metabolism that never were fat, or, people that just have ridiculous genetics that, they pick up fucking 20 pounds for a couple weeks and they start building muscle. It's like, come on, shut up, dude. Those kind of people piss me off. But, I like to listen to the people that have been where we were that have struggled and fought through it. For the life of me, I can't think of his name now. I'm blanking on it. There was I watched a show about a guy who he's a personal trainer. He was trying to help this guy lose weight, and this guy was severely overweight. He wasn't like 900 pounds, but he was like 400 or 500 pounds, and the guy wanted to severely lose weight. So he was like, he'd always been in shape. You know, he'd never struggled and been on that side, and everybody always told him it's different when you're fat. You know, it's different when you're out of shape. And he was like, okay, well, I'm going to put myself to the test. And he gained a bunch of weight intentionally and got fat, and he was miserable. Like he documented the whole thing, you know, from start to finish. And he gained, I think it was 80 pounds in a few months before he started training this guy, and he didn't even tell the guy he was doing it. You know, he was like, "Hey, I'll see you in a few months, and we'll start the training program." And he was like, "All right," and he shoved the dude's house 80 pounds heavier. And he had he was ripped, but at 80 pounds heavier, he had a big old gut and a double chin, you know, and he wasn't looking hot. And the guy was like, "What happened?" He said, "I'm trying to get on your level," you know. And they lost the weight together, and the dude said it was hard. It was and he was. During the process of making himself into that fat guy, he got depressed, you know, and he started second guessing going to the gym and started getting lazy. And he was like, it's a real conundrum, man. It hits you like people don't understand what it's like to be overweight and not have that energy level and to feel the not necessarily like clinical depression, but the internal depression of, you know, I'm not happy with myself and, you know, just feeling bad and stuff. So if you're one of those guys out there that, you know, has superb genetics and you're trying to tell people to get in shape, screw off, dude. Fuck you. But I don't really mean that, but
no, because there are people out there like there's people that we still look up to as far as their training programs because it works, and we still respect them. But I think that, like, for me, how I interpret it is more. There's a difference between knowing how to work out and all that stuff and understanding where the person that struggled is actually coming from. And, like, don't get me wrong, it's excuses galore, but some of them, like, it's tough. It's tough whenever when you're at that biggest, you don't have your testosterone's down because you're like weight affects your testosterone, so that affects your energy, and then your personal image. You're like being overweight. It affects a lot more than your physical attributes. Like it's an emotional thing. It's a spiritual thing, you know. And so I think for me the biggest part was, you know, A, just getting started, and B, fixing my outlook on things and fixing my spiritual and emotional well-being, and that's really made a big difference. And, you know, it's kind of went hand in hand between going to the gym and working on those parts, and everybody struggles differently. Like, that's the biggest thing that I think sucks is whenever everybody has a one-size-fits-all cure to this, but everybody's an individual. Everybody works differently. Everybody needs different things. We might need, you know, in general, the same things, but, like, for instance, whenever I went to the H2F program, I need less calories than you need to maintain. Our bodies are different. You know, it's not the same. It's not just eat 2,500 calories. Well, you may need more than 2,500 calories. I may need less than that.
I think we calculated it up one day, and
you need
for
like
maintenance,
3,700.
for maintenance, you needed like, what was it, 2,400 calories or something like that?
I needed 2,700 calories.
And for me, it was like 3,700, so I needed an extra 1,000 calories more than you just for maintenance for my size. That's ridiculous, dude.
And the thing is like, whenever I went and talked to the H2F guy, he's like, I told him, I was like, I'm struggling to eat this because I really do. And if you think of it, it's really not that many calories. If you have time to eat, and making that time and effort, and you know how I am, I get distracted. But
well, it also boils down to how bad you want it. You know, like for a long time, I had a thing on my phone. Every time I would turn my phone on, the screen on there would say, "Remember why you started." And it's one of those things like, like you're saying, you're struggling to get those meals down. You just got to kind of remember why you started doing it and make time for it. You know, everybody's like, "Well, I don't have time to meal prep this, and I don't have time to." You do. I mean, you might have a busy day. You know, you may be on your feet 22 out of the 24 hours of the day doing stuff, but if it means enough to you, you'll find time. You'll find a way to fit it in there somehow.
And I think what they like for the working out portion of it, and I know we've mentioned this before, but when I went to that H2F program, they said that 2 days of 30 minutes of moderate working out, you can gain benefits from that. You know, there's enough that you can gain the benefits from it, and that's all that it takes. 30 to 45 minutes for 2 days a week, and most people can hatch that out. Like I understand there's really busy people out there, and like I'm one of them. Like I'm one of I work 9 a.m. until 3:30 a.m. almost every single day, but it's making it a priority, and it's so easy. It's so easy not to want to go, you know, and so like that's the one thing is even though I was busy this past month and a half, 2 months, not going was really nice. It was really nice.
The whole time I was gone, when I went down to Gulf Shores for those 2 weeks, there was a gym that was, like I said before, literally like 100 feet away from the condo where I was, and I was just kept telling myself, I'm gonna go check out the gym. I was gonna at least go in there and look at it and see what it's about, you know, because I guarantee they didn't have all the stuff I wanted, but it's condo gym, whatever.
Now I do have a question. Whenever you're on vacation or you're taking time off, do you ever lie to yourself about the physical activities you do? What I mean is, like, I had a pool. I had a pool at the villa that I was staying at, and I was like, I swam today. Swimming's great, well, but I didn't really swim. I more floated, you know.
It's funny that you would bring that up because that happened to me several times while I was down there. So I ate like shit the whole time I was there. So the physical activity I did was basically kind of semi-counteracting all the crap food I ate. But there was a few days I went down there on the beach and played volleyball.
Where did you go again?
Gulf Shores, Orange Beach. And went down there and played volleyball a few days on the beach, which was exerting. You know, I sweat and I was out of breath, but it wasn't like a day in the gym. And then we had our own little private pool down there and everything. Well, there was 2 pools. And went down there and swam in the pool a lot. And I did laps, you know. I did some actual swimming to try to get some exercise. But it wasn't nearly enough exercise, you know, for what I needed to be doing. And I would lie to myself the whole time I was down there. I'm like, oh, I just played like an hour and a half of volleyball. I'm good for the day. I got my workout in. Or, you know, I just went down there and swam a few laps in the pool for 45 minutes. I got my workout in. I'm good. I don't need the gym.
So I didn't even do that. I'm going now. Although my work is very physical, like there was a lot of physical portions of like people don't think videography is that physical. You've carried my gear before, you know that first you're carrying you're basically rucking with, you know, 35-pound camera bag, and then you have a shoulder rig, and that shoulder rig gets fucking heavy, and then you're climbing up. You're climbing up a fucking mountain with it and all that stuff. I mean, so there's portions of it that is physical, but it's not the same. But like whenever I was at the pool, I literally floated, and I specifically, like, most of it was real sunny, but I you know, I have the skin tone of snow, and so I burn really easily. So I specifically just floated in the shady side of the pool. Like that's all I did. So I lied to myself.
I'm gonna put this out there and just say, because you know how it is. Once you say it on the podcast, you're locked in. You got to do it. So I think come this spring or summer, this following spring or summer, we should get out there to the trails that Turkey Run brings, you know, the camera gear, maybe camera, whether it's a GoPro, yeah, whether it's a GoPro or whatever, and we'll just have a day of shooting out there and hiking trails and getting some exercise in, and, you know, use that for some footage for the Either the podcast or the Fat Man Project or
Do you know what else we should do?
what's that?
You're gonna say no. You know what we should do next year? We should.
No.
We can do it at whatever pace we do it. Just to say that we've done it, because I've never actually done this. But I want to do a 5K.
I'm down.
You'll do a 5K.
Oh,
with me?
for sure. Yeah.
Like, it doesn't even have to be like super fast.
I'm down 100%.
And like if anybody wants to join us, like we'll find. I want to do the Spartan run.
I'm not saying I'm going to run the whole thing because, I mean, you look at me. I don't run. If I'm running, it's because something's chasing me. But, yeah, I'm definitely down. I'll do a 5K with you any day of the week. I don't care.
I specifically want to do the Have you seen the Spartan run?
Yeah.
It looks cool as shit. And, like, it looks really difficult. Like, it looks like it's going to kick our asses. But
not to get off on a tangent here or anything, but I actually, you know what the color run is, right?
yeah.
Okay, so I bought tickets. It was back in like 2013. I bought a ticket for it because it came to Terre Haute, and I'm like, sweet, I'm going to do this, So I bought a ticket, and I requested the time off work, and I trained literally for 4 months for this color run, running. Because
I remember you telling me
I don't
this.
fucking run. So I trained for 4 months. Lost a crap ton of weight, got real good at running, and I was running like 3 to 5 miles every other day just for fun. Well, not for fun, but for training purposes. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I'm going to go kill this color run. Well, lo and behold, they screwed me at the job I had at the time and didn't let me off, and then I wasted my time and my money. But, I mean, I was down. I was ready to hit it, and I'd never ran, aside from being forced to in the military. I'd never ran in anything like that before, so I've wanted to kind of do, I guess, what you could call a makeup run for that. So since I never got to do it, so I think if we, hell, even if I don't want to get too crazy, but 5K, 10K, I don't care. Whatever you want to do, I'm down for it. The Spartan thing sounds fun. I've looked into, I mean, I'm obviously not in the right shape for it right now, but after the cut, maybe getting into like the Tough Mudder. Have you seen those things?
I feel like I have.
Yeah, those things look pretty awesome. I'd like to get into those.
Do you know what we should do? We should invite our friends from the Diner podcast to join us and do the Spartan run. We should do that.
Okay, I like that idea. So, Uncle Lump, Red Velvet, this is your call to action, homie. It's time to get it.
We see you guys working out in the gym all the time, which I think is great. Like that, honestly, that was one of the motivations. One, being on their podcast, and two, watching them working out in the gym throughout the weeks and stuff. It's been one of the motivations that's gotten us started doing this podcast. But so, how about it, guys? We'll coordinate it, but let's do the Spartan run. I think that it'd be great, and we'll film throughout the whole entire process.
I feel like Uncle Lump's going to put us all to shame. Yeah. Honestly, I feel like he's just going to be miles ahead of us, and we're going to be back there. Just right, because props to him because he's lost a crap ton of weight.
Oh yeah,
he's in great shape now. So
see, I went to school with Jared, and when we first got in contact with him when we were filming the movie, and they asked us to be on the podcast, it didn't register to me who he was. Like I recognized his name. He looked familiar, but he's lost a shit ton of weight, and he looks great. And then I'll tell you what, old Red Velvet, he'll surprise you too. He's strong as an ox.
Yeah, he is.
I mean, he really is.
He's a beast.
I think first of all, I got to give those guys props. I think that they've done a wonderful job on their podcast. They're entertaining. They're just wonderful guys all the way around, and I really enjoy listening to their podcast. And you guys should check. This is just they're good friends. Like, they were just good guys, and please go check out the Diner podcast. They're available on all streaming sites and stuff. But yeah, it'd be great if you guys would join us, and we'll film it and we'll get things coordinated. But I think that would be great.
Yeah, sounds like fun. You stole my plug for them, but
oh yeah,
that's all right. As long as they're plugged in there, is all that matters.
Yeah.
But like you said, Diner Podcast, dude, they're awesome. They're good guys, good friends of ours. We did an episode with them, and it was probably the most fun I've ever had on a podcast.
Oh, it was
honestly,
it was so
down.
fun.
Yeah, it was
did
great.
Did you see their live stream of the Tyson and Paul?
No, I did
fight?
not, but I heard about it.
They got like like 240,000.
Oh yeah, they had a
like
bunch of views.
they may have gotten more since then, but like I thought that was really great for those guys, and yeah, I just think that they're doing really great things.
I like what he said on the Facebook page, and he was like, so "One of the few things we learned, I can talk for 5 hours." that got me.
Well, it helps because they're best friends too, you know.
Yeah.
And I think that that's one thing that I really enjoy.
We're twinning.
Yeah. One thing that I enjoy doing this with you is like the first episode we kind of scripted or whatever, but like since then we've just kind of we know what we want to talk about, and we just kind of go off and on our little tangents, and like it's just talking with friends, you know.
Yeah.
I enjoy that, and
Or you have days like today where we're at the gym working out prior to filming this podcast, and we're like, what are we going to talk about today? We have no idea. And then we get here and we start talking, and 15, 20 minutes into the podcast, we're like, well, we're out of material. Okay, it's something else.
well, like yesterday, I was like, be thinking about, because my mind's been everywhere else, especially with everything that's going on with the documentary and all that stuff. So my mind's still on that, and I was like, be thinking about what we're going to be talking about tomorrow. You're like, okay, and then we show up today, dude. I haven't thought about it at all.
Dude, I completely forgot to think about what we were. I mean, we had a list. That's what I was doing when you were talking earlier, and I had my phone in my hand. I was scrolling through trying to find the list that you sent me before we ever started all this.
Yeah,
I don't know where it is. It's probably in an email somewhere.
I was looking through, and today I was like, I can't fucking find it. Am I glitchy? I feel like
in real life, maybe.
I feel like my
Like Gumby?
no, I feel like my frame rate's off.
Doesn't look like it.
Sorry, this is the ADHD in me.
This is the technical side.
See, yours looks good. Yours looks good. Mine looks like. Well, we're. Hold on a second. All right, that's better. All right, I feel much better about this. I could see the lag in it, so apologies for the last part of this whole entire episode. That it's my videos look like shit. So
They usually look like shit because I'm in them. Just saying.
well, I wasn't gonna say that though. No, I'm just joking. I'm just serious. But what were we talking about? Oh, we're
Running out of material.
we're gonna do this 5K. I think
Yes,
I think it'll be a lot of fun. So did you watch the Tyson fight?
Unfortunately, yes, dude. I'm okay. I don't want to be one of those guys, but I watched. I followed.
Staged?
Dude, yes, I followed Tyson from day one of them saying that they were going to do this fight. Watching his training regimen, dude is a fucking beast in the ring. When he was training, dude, he was. I mean, he damn near knocked out his sparring partner. I mean, he was getting it.
Did you see, like, he looks almost as good as he did whenever he was in his prime. At how old is he? 56 years old?
58, I think.
58 years old?
Yeah, he's almost 60 years old.
Yeah, like he looked phenomenal for that age. Like, first of all, we wouldn't last 3 seconds in the ring with him. I mean, he's a beast. But yeah,
I'd be all right against Jake though.
I was I was a little disappointed in that. It was like one of the most boring fights I've seen.
Dude, it was kind of ridiculous because, like I was saying, I mean his sparring, his training program, the whole nine. I watched one where he was just fucking getting it, sweating, just hitting the bag. And then they called it quits on his training one day. And they were like, all right, you've done enough. And he was like, are you sure? I got a lot left in the tank, And he was on it. And I was like, man, he's just going to fucking kill Jake. And they got in the ring, and it started off great. That first round, he was in there bobbing and weaving and stuck him a couple times. And I was like, all right, this is going to be it. It's only going to last 3 or 4 rounds, And then he started trailing off, and I'm like, something's off. And then it dawned on me when he pulled a punch at one point where Jake swung at him, and he ducked. And he came up like he was going to hit, and Jake freaked the fuck out. He did a double take and stepped back. And I was like, he's pulling his punches. He wants. And then it dawned on me, it was like he wants the money. He's getting that $20 million if he lasts the whole 8 rounds. So Mike Tyson, I love you, buddy, but you sold yourself. You sold your legacy.
Now, I will give him this. I don't know any other men his age that would have lasted as long in the ring.
100%. Yeah. I mean, I saw a video of some guy. Fuck, I keep trying to remember these things in my head as I see them so I can bring them up, but I can't remember the guy. He's a boxer, and he's 74, I think, 74 years old, and built like a brick shit house at 74 years old, and probably could, as long as Mike didn't knock him out, he could go fucking 8 rounds with Mike Tyson. I mean, it's awesome. But aside from that, hell, even me, if I was 50 years old, there's no way, he's one of a kind, I guess you could say.
I was just disappointed in. Well, what really, I wasn't even watching it until because I was in Mexico at the time, and I seen you had posted. He was like, "Did Mike just get knocked out?" I was like, "Motherfuck, did he really?" And so then I was like, stopped what I was doing, and I checked in on that glitchy ass fight. Netflix really pissed me off during that.
All I want to say is, the entire time the fight was going on, I was on Facebook, reading up on people's posts. Everybody complained about Netflix glitching and freezing up and them not going to be able to see it and everything. Thanks, Frontier, because you're awesome. I got fiber optic internet. Not one problem. I mean, it was a little pixelated from time to time, but yeah, I watched the whole fight through. It's great.
The only thing that I had, Wi-Fi was something to be desired where I was at.
I could imagine.
Just to let you know. But the only thing that I noticed, it was like it was really clear, and then all of a sudden, like it buffered, and that like I'd get like 5-minute increments, and then it would buffer, and then 5-minute increments, and then buffer.
Everybody kept posting pictures of their screen buffering. It was at like 99%, and they said it would buffer for like fucking 10 minutes, and they didn't get to see anything. Really? It was horrible.
That was the only, but I'd say it did it a few times, But I didn't watch any of the first parts of the fight at all. I
watched it from beginning to end.
I didn't give a shit about the other ones.
Unfortunately.
all I cared about was I just wanted to watch the main event. But no, I still.
How about the 2 females, though? Did you watch that at all?
No, I didn't at all.
Dude, you missed a hell of a fight between
Really?
those 2 chicks. Yes. The 2 women put on a better fight. I mean, again, not to knock Mike Tyson because he's a stellar athlete. He's a badass boxer. He's a fucking legend. He's in the Hall of Fame for a reason. But they put on a better fight than I've seen Mike fight in years.
Really?
I mean, they were a bloodbath, but it was awesome. It was really good.
So back on our gym excursions and stuff. Why? What was one thing that you've missed since we've been gone? If there was just one thing.
Accountability. Yeah.
I've missed busting balls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Giving me shit the whole time in there,
Yeah.
Shoot for 12 reps, get 11 and a half, and you're like, all right, 4 more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
yeah, I've missed being in there and having you push me. Because let's be real, had I even gone to the gym without you, I wouldn't push myself like I would if you were there. So I've missed having that camaraderie. I've missed the accountability. Being former military, you always miss accountability in some way or another.
That's one thing and we'll dive deeper on maybe the next episode about accountability partners and gym partners. I'm a hardcore believer on if you're the kind of person that's easily motivated and able to do it yourself, that's great. But
la-dee-da. Good for you, because I'm not one of them.
Let's be honest. Like, if I was that kind of person, I never would have been fat. Like, that's just if I was the kind of person that was self-motivated in that aspect, because I'm motivated in other parts of my life. I'm very motivated whenever it comes to my career and my kids and all that stuff. But
I was 100% self-motivated for the first year I went to the gym, and then it just just went to shit.
But I definitely am somebody that needs that accountability partner, that person to push me. And it also, like, let's face it, whenever I first started going with you, I had never lifted in my life. And today I mentioned, I was like, remember when we first started, it was always you
Yep.
starting the workouts and you, like, me just following your lead. And heck, I think all but one. All but one I started today, which may not seem like that big of a deal to everybody, but it made me like realize like, hey, I'm learning something. You've been a good teacher.
Well, and it's not only so much as me teaching. I feel like it's also has a lot to do with you getting more comfortable being there. It's been a little over a year now, so your comfort level in the gym's a lot better than what it used to be, and we touched on that on some episodes previous. Going to the gym feeling nervous and not being comfortable and feeling like you don't belong and all that stuff. And now that you're on the other end of that and you realize, the whole being nervous and feeling like you don't belong is just a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing in the gym really has changed as far as people.
It's all up in the head.
Yeah, it's all mental up here in your own head. So my question, I guess, for you is being on the other side of that now. So from day one, when you stepped in the gym, and you said you were nervous and you weren't real comfortable going to the weight room, but you were with me, so you went anyway. Looking back a little over a year now to where you're in there, even if I wasn't there, you'd be comfortable going by yourself and doing your own workouts. How has the mindset changed, and how has that helped you in the gym?
I think the biggest mindset change has been that, like, one, I don't give a shit what anybody thinks about me anymore. Like, not that I
Right.
ever really did, but when you're not familiar with something, you have that self-doubt a little bit. You have that, man, I'm gonna look like a dumbass in here, and so I don't have that anymore for a couple reasons. One,
I know that I look like a dumbass every day, so
well, one of the big reasons is I know that nobody they're there because they want to better themselves. They're not there to pick apart everything that I'm doing.
Right.
And then two, just like you said, being familiar with things, it's gave me a lot more confidence in my ability to go in there and actually get. I know I'm confident that I could get a really good workout on my own if I went in there. If I was the kind of person to go in there by myself, But I thoroughly just enjoy working out as a team, versus
Right.
solo. So like that mind shift change has made a big difference in giving me more confidence,
and to each their own. I mean, some people enjoy working out by themselves. Some people need someone else to work out. I'm kind of on the fence with both of them. I could do either or. I prefer to have a gym partner. I'm not gonna lie, but I can do either or. But like whenever I first started working out, I always see all these posts and stuff on Facebook, about guys that work out with no headphones. They're like, oh, they're sick, they're messed up in the head. You work out with no music. I used to be the guy that had to have music every time I'd go into the gym. I would have to have that perfect song to hit my PRs to, and I'd have to wait for the bass or the beat drop to, start lifting the weights and all that stuff. And I became too dependent on it. And then when you and I started going to the gym, I don't remember if you remember, but in the beginning, I still had my headphones, and I'd put one in, and I'd listen to music while we worked out. And then it just got to the point where I was like, fuck, I don't need it. So I took the headphones out, and now I don't listen to music at all. And I actually kind of prefer it that way. It's nice to have the conversations, but even if we didn't talk, I feel like it's more of a distraction now for me. The music would be.
Well, and we have days where like we're very like we're in the zone, and it's like, hey man, we got to get this shit done.
Yeah.
Like maybe we have a time crunch that we're working on or whatever, and so like those days we still bullshit a little bit, But we have days where, like I remember one in particular day was after we started doing those supersets that workout. We had one day in particular where we got it done in like an hour.
It was like 45 minutes.
Yeah, but we were boom, 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 and we didn't have much. We barely talked that day.
Yeah.
Well, but we got some PRs that day too. But so yeah, I don't need to have the conversation all the time. Although I really do enjoy the bullshitting sessions, and I have when we're there and we're just doing maintenance. I love to cut up with you and do the stupid things to try to make you laugh because it makes me laugh because I'm just that kind of person. But then when we're hitting it hard, I just enjoy the conversation because as you know, being adults, a lot of times it's hard to get that socialization, throughout your day. Although, you have your work socializing and things like that, but it's not the same as bullshit shitting with friends.
Right. So we've been talking about get the cameras in there from time to time and recording ourselves working out and stuff. I think we need to do that. We need to. I mean, right now, the time that we go to the gym is busy. We go 7:00 in the evening. Everybody and their mom's there, so we'll have to pick a day like on a weekend or something on a Saturday. Whenever you don't have the kids or whatever, we'll go late night after hours because it's 24 hours. So we'll go after hours one of these days and get in there and set up the cameras. And
do you know what I think would be perfect for our workout session?
what's that?
I'm gonna get me a set, and you should get you a set someday, or maybe ML Productions will just get a set.
I am not gonna wear Spanx for you. No.
I want to get those Meta glasses.
Oh yeah,
those would be perfect for
Those
when
would, yeah.
like just to get like the point of view of like how our workouts really are. We're not distracted by the cameras, and because we're wearing them.
Or I could just strap a GoPro to my forehead.
We could do that too. But have you seen those Meta glasses?
Yeah.
I want some so bad. Like I think they're the coolest
They're
things
nice.
ever.
They're
I'm
nice.
gonna get me a pair of those Ray-Bans. But Ray-Ban, if you're out there and you want to sponsor us, we're down. But
We're always looking for sponsors. So yeah, just Ray-Ban. We love you.
no, they really are they're so cool. Have you seen the video?
Oh yeah.
They're actually pretty. They're pretty good. Like I would say they're comparable to a GoPro or whatever. But
Good quality.
I haven't dug deep into the specs of them. Just the idea of being able, the ease of it. I'm really impressed with, and I think that I could definitely find some uses for.
Makes me wonder what again, like you said, you haven't done the specs, but I wonder what the runtime is in one of those, like the recording time, how long you can.
I don't know. We'll have to find out. Even if it's like I have no problem tapping it and turn it on off and on because I think there's like a red light on it that you can tell that it's recording. So if we both see, hey, it didn't record, fucking hit I think you just tap the side and it turns on. But this is our in-depth analysis of the Ray-Ban Meta glasses.
Just tap it, fucking good to go.
Good to go. We could do a whole commercial like that.
Yeah.
Yep. Just fucking go.
Yeah.
Fucking do it.
Here's a commercial for Ray-Ban. Put them on. Tap it and fucking go.
Yeah. But no, I'm glad that I'm glad to be back. I'm glad that we're back to shooting these episodes. We've been, although this is only episode 3 or 4. This is episode 4. It's been a process of the past month and a half, 2 months, just because I started before I left for Mississippi. Then we came back and we recorded episode, and then
I was gone for 2 weeks.
Yeah, I was gone for a week, and so I'm glad to be back at this and doing our weekly episodes, and I'm just excited to see where this goes, and excited to connect with more people. And one thing that I want to say is, if you're out there and you have a weight loss story that you'd like to share with us, please reach out to us. We'll have the Facebook group. It's going to be the Fat Man Community, and so please reach out on there and share your stories. And we'd love to have you on and showcase what you've done and ask you questions, because at the end of the day, we want to show people that we understand your struggles, we understand what you're going through, and because we've been there, we're still there, fighting and working out on our journey to a better health life and a better life overall. But if you have a story you would like to share that you think could be beneficial, please reach out to us. We would love to hear it, and we'd love to share your story and give you a proper spotlight. And but yeah, I'm excited to be back, and I'm excited to do this episode.
And if you want to be on the podcast but you're nervous, don't be, because we're stupid.
No.
So there's nothing to be nervous about.
We're just two regular Joes that are trying to make a difference, and have a little fun while we do it. And as
That's
you
right.
as you see, we like to cut up. We're very informal, and we're nobody special. We're just like you guys. And so yeah, please reach out to us if whether you're somebody that's went through a weight loss journey, or if you're a trainer and you have some good insights to share. We would love to hear from you as well. And at the end of the day, we're just building a community. We're building the Fat Man community because we're the original Fat Man, and we want you to be part of it.
And on the opposite end of that, if you're the kind of person that likes to do the behind the scenes kind of stuff, and you want to volunteer some time and you want to learn, show up, because we got stuff that we could put you to work on. Like I know damn good and well you keep seeing me reach over every time I talk because we have the camera switcher. So,
Yeah, because our behind the scenes guy,
our behind the scenes guy is not here right now.
our behind the scenes guy is not here right now. He's watching a dog. So yeah, we made it work though. We're still figuring out the kinks, but we made it work, and I think this turned out to be a pretty good episode.
Either way, we'll get it figured out.
Yeah,
we'll be professional one day.
Yeah,
Today's not the day.
but I'm Mitch Lunsford,
and I'm Dustin Carpenter, and this has been the Fat Man Podcast.
Don't be a bitch.